On May 5th of this year, Anthropic held an invitation-only briefing in New York. The guests were not developers or tech executives, they were the chief information officers of JPMorgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, AIG, and Visa. At that briefing, Anthropic unveiled 10 AI agents built specifically to do the work of Wall Street: a pitch deck builder, an earnings reviewer, a financial model builder, a compliance screener, a meeting prep tool. The same day, shares of FactSet Research Systems, a company that sells financial data to banks, fell more than 8%. Morningstar reversed earlier gains and turned negative. S&P Global came under pressure. Those stock moves were not a coincidence. They were the market pricing, and what this announcement means: that AI agents are starting to do the work that banks currently pay both people and software companies to do. And the banks are on board. Most people's mental model of AI is still the chatbot. You ask a question, it answers. You ask another, it answers again. The agents Anthropic deployed to Wall Street work differently. You give an agent a goal, read this earnings transcript and flag everything relevant to our model, and it figures out the steps and executes them without further instruction. It reads the document, identifies the relevant items, makes the updates, and delivers the finished output. You review the result, not the process. Goldman Sachs CIO Marco Argenti described 3 waves of AI adoption happening at Goldman. First, giving the technology team tools to operate at a completely different pace. Second, reimagining operational processes end-to-end. Third, and in his view, the most significant, using AI to make better risk and investment decisions. That third wave has not arrived yet. The first and second are already in motion. JPMorgan CEO Jamie Dimon demonstrated the practical reality at the briefing. He built a live analysis dashboard on treasury asset swaps and bid-ask spreads, starting from a blank spreadsheet, in 20 minutes. That task would normally take a junior analyst hours. Dimon did it in 20 minutes using Claude. He is the CEO of the largest bank in the United States. He did it himself. The 10 agents Anthropic released are worth listing specifically, because each one maps to a job function that currently employs people at every major bank. The research agents, a pitch builder that generates comparable company analyses and drafts pitch books, a meeting prep tool, an earnings reviewer that reads transcripts and flags what the model needs to update, a financial model builder, the operations agents, a fund administrator, an accounting agent for monthly close reconciliation, a document intelligence tool for processing unstructured financial documents, the finance functions agents, a procure-to-pay agent, a financial close agent, and the risk and compliance agents, a KYC screener and a compliance review tool. If you are a junior analyst at an investment bank, read that list carefully. The earnings reviewer, the model builder, and the pitch builder replicate, almost line for line, the work that has historically defined the first 2 years of a banking career. Those 3 agents do not eliminate senior banker judgment. They eliminate the entry-level processing work that junior bankers used to do before they could graduate to judgment. Goldman Sachs' CIO described this as digital co-workers for roles that are scaled, complex, and process-intensive. Anthropic's CEO Dario Amodi has said enterprise demand is running far ahead of the company's own forecasts. This is not a pilot program or a research project. These are production deployments at the largest financial institutions on Earth. JPMorgan Chase has been running Claude in production since at least mid-2025. Goldman Sachs embedded Anthropic engineers inside the bank for 6 months to co-develop agents specifically for Goldman's trade and transaction accounting and client onboarding workflows. They have been building on Claude directly inside Goldman's internal systems. Citigroup, AIG, and Visa are all confirmed production users. Carlyle, the private equity firm, has applied Claude across investment analysis, operations, and portfolio oversight. Private equity is not a small corner of finance. Carlyle manages over $400 billion in assets. Alongside the 10 agents, Anthropic also announced a $1.5 billion joint venture with Blackstone, Hellman and Friedman, and Goldman Sachs specifically to expand deployment of AI software to more businesses. Goldman is not just using the product. Goldman invested in the distribution of the product. That alignment is significant. Anthropic now has more than 300,000 business customers. A valuation of over $900 billion is reportedly being discussed for its next funding round, which would make it the most valuable AI startup in the world, ahead of OpenAI. The most important question for investors, and for anyone working in finance, is not whether AI is being adopted on Wall Street. It clearly is. The question is, who benefits and who does not? The banks themselves look like beneficiaries in the near term. Doing more analytical work with the same or fewer people means higher margins. JPMorgan reportedly has the equivalent of 500 AI agents running across hundreds of use cases. That is a margin story, not just an efficiency story. The software and data companies that sell into banks face a more difficult picture. If an AI agent can pull comparable companies, build a financial model, and write a research summary without needing a Bloomberg terminal or a FactSet subscription to do it, the value proposition of expensive data platforms becomes harder to justify. That is why FactSet shares fell 8% on the day of the Anthropic announcement. Not every software company is equally exposed. BNN Bloomberg's John Ehrlichman made a specific distinction in his analysis. Companies whose work AI cannot easily replicate, chip design specialists like Cadence and Synopsys, or deeply embedded enterprise software like SAP, Workday, and Viva, should hold up better. Their value is workflow integration and specialized technical depth that AI augments rather than replaces. The analogy Ehrlichman used: for 15 years, software was one big trade. Buy the software companies servicing enterprise clients. Hold for compound returns. That trade is over. The next chapter is about identifying which companies and which workers own the things AI cannot replace. The jobs question is the one most people actually want answered, and the honest answer, based on what the banks have said publicly so far, is more nuanced than either the alarmist or the optimist version. The early evidence from Carlyle and Goldman suggests AI agents are, in the near term, shifting what junior workers do, rather than eliminating the positions entirely. Trade reconciliation, document processing, initial KYC screening, these are being handed to agents. The humans who previously did that work are being redirected toward client relationships, strategy, and the judgment calls that require experience and context. Whether that pattern holds as AI capabilities improve is the unresolved question. Right now, the agents excel at structured, repeatable, document-intensive work. They are less able to handle the ambiguity of a new client relationship, the political navigation of an internal approval process, or the creative judgment of a genuinely original pitch. Those are the parts of the job that current agents cannot replicate. The honest picture for anyone in finance: the parts of your job that are structured, repeatable, and document-intensive are at risk. The parts that require genuine judgment, relationship management, or creative insight are not, at least not yet. The advice most consistent with what the data actually shows is: understand which parts of your role fit which category, and deliberately build expertise in the second one. The BNN Bloomberg analysis from John Ehrlichman that prompted this video, the Fortune deep dive on Anthropic's financial services briefing, and the disruption banking breakdown of the 10 AI agents are all linked in the description below. If you want to understand how these AI agents compare to the broader category of AI tools, and which AI is actually best for specific tasks, that comparison video is in the description below. Be sure to subscribe for weekly coverage of what AI is actually changing, and where. Thanks for watching.